Today we're talking Jada Pinkett Smith breaking her silence over the Oscar slap. But does Chris Rock even care? And it's Netflix's Geeked Week. We'll tell you if there's anything to snap about. Plus, was it Morbin time at cinemas again? No, it wasn't. It's all coming up in your Hollywood headlines. All right, and here to help me break it all down is WatchMojo's very own Phoebe DeJour. Hey, Phoebe, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Listen, Phoebe, there's a lot to break down. I'm starting with, and I can't believe we're still talking about this, the Oscar slap. It's only been 2 months, but it feels like it's been 2+ years. That's because everyone has had something to say about it. But now the news is that we're hearing from some people involved, namely Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, she has this show called Red Table Talk. Now, here's what she said. She addressed it. She said her deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men, and she's talking, of course, about Will Smith and Chris Rock, have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile. Now, that's kind of all she said. Now, here's interesting. Also, to add to that is that they reached out to Chris Rock, did some other outlets, and his people put out a statement saying he doesn't have time for the Smiths right now. He's concerned with his comedy and a comedy special. I mean, Chris Rock doesn't seem to care. Phoebe, should we?
No, we shouldn't care anymore. I think Jada's biggest hope is that Chris Rock and Will Smith will be on Red Table Talk so she can have a really successful episode. But I really think that Will Smith has been punished enough. He was banned for 10 years from the Oscars. A lot of his projects were kind of put in limbo because of this situation. So it's kind of weird that we're still talking about it. People make mistakes and let's just move on.
Yeah, you're right. Now, the Red Table Talk, that would be so interesting if they got him on there, because I would admittedly watch it. But I was kind of waiting for that Oprah special, right? I thought that was inevitable, that there would be the Chris Rock, Will Smith in the same room together, big TV event with Oprah. We haven't had it, but you know what? There's rumors that the Academy, the Oscars, the producers, are going after Chris Rock to host the show next year. So maybe he'll stay silent until then. But yeah, I don't know if we'll ever stop talking about it until they start talking about it. Do you think Jada should have said more about her role in all this? Because she was getting some criticism saying that she was directly involved. So she's hoping that those two meet and get together. But where is she in all this?
See, I don't know that she has that much of a responsibility to, get more involved than saying that she hopes that they can reconcile. She didn't really do anything. She just kind of groaned at a joke that she didn't like. I just don't think that she needs to get any more involved. I know that I think it was Vivica A. Fox said something to the effect of that, she should do more and take more responsibility. She didn't go up on the stage and slap Chris Rock, I understand that she is involved in the situation, but how much more do you want her to do?
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree with you. It's still crazy that this happened at the Oscars and not something like the MTV Video Music Awards.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if we still talk about the slappening, as I like to call it, in the weeks to come. I hope not. I hope you're right that it is kind of forgotten about. But I would like to see Chris Rock host that award show. Move on to something fun here. We are in the midst of the streaming wars, as I like to call them. Netflix is coming out with something called Geeked Week. So this is their kind of big bonanza where they throw out all kinds of first looks and trailers and teasers, basically all this nerdy content to get us excited for what they've got coming up. There's been a few interesting things in their series, their TV show front. I'll get you to chime in on some that you're excited about. I'm just going to throw out a couple now. One being Wednesday, that being Wednesday Addams. Jenna Ortega is taking on the role. Tim Burton is directing. I mean, if there was ever a project tailor-made for Tim Burton, it would be the Addams Family. So that's interesting. Resident Evil. They're trying it again. July 14th. This one's coming to Netflix, a live-action series. And The Sandman. That's probably the one I'm most excited for. August 5th. We got a date. That's based, of course, on the acclaimed graphic novels. What says you, Phoebe? What's got you excited over there at the Netflix?
Wednesday. Definitely. Just watching like that little teaser trailer that they put out, it looks exactly like The Corpse Bride. It has Tim Burton written all over it, which is so exciting because I just love his style and the aesthetic of his movies. I really like Jenna Ortega. I thought she was such a fantastic character in the second season of You. And she has like this really great, like just kind of like an edge to her. So I think she's kind of perfect for that role. And then you didn't mention it, but Cabinet of Curiosities, the Guillermo del Toro project that's coming. That's really exciting. Andrew Lincoln is in that, and Crispin Glover. It blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, I feel like he hasn't been in anything in a while.
The Back to the Future Crispin.
Yes, that
Glover.
Crispin Glover.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. And the Del Toro show, is this anthology based? Is it like little horror kind of?
So they haven't given us a lot of information on it yet. It was kind of like just a really kind of like establishing shots of what you can expect the show to look like and who's working on it. So there's a lot of famous horror directors working on it, including Guillermo del Toro, of course. And then they talked about who was going to be starring in the show, which is, Andrew Lincoln, Crispin Glover, among many others. But it really has the aesthetic of a del Toro project. I've always been a big fan of Guillermo del Toro, Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy movies, The Shape of Water, which was, one of my favorite movies. And so I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, no, that does look good. I remember seeing that for sure. Speaking of horror on Netflix, I don't know if you've caught the recent episodes of Stranger Things. So they're teasing the second part to season. I don't know why they just didn't put it all together, but whatever. We're gonna get the second part of season 4. But it got really dark, really creepy. I really dug it. Have you checked out any?
So I'm already on my second watch because Stranger Things is my favorite show of all time. We're watching again to kind of find the little Easter eggs that we missed upon first watch. So we're already like well into our second viewing. I really loved this season. I thought that as the cast gets older, they're kind of maturing the subject matter as well. And this was by far the darkest season in terms of like the body horror and the subject matter. It's phenomenal. I love the special effects. The acting is amazing. The twist in the season, spoiler alert, is phenomenal, and I can't wait to see the last 2 episodes. The reason why they separated them was because the season was so delayed because of COVID, and so they wanted to get out like the episodes that were ready as fast as possible, and the last 2 are actually like still in the editing room. So I think that they finally released the runtime for the final episode of season 4, and it's going to be 2 hours and 19 minutes, and I can't even, I'm shaking right now. I can't even describe how excited I am for this.
You're not alone. I don't think you're alone at all because, and that's the thing about this, the latest episodes, each episode kind of felt like its own little feature film.
Yes.
It was really well done. You can tell they threw a lot of money at it as well. And I was kind of worried. I'm like, they had so many cast members, so many actors, and they were introducing all these new people, and we were going to different parts of the world. And I was like, how is this going to be too much? And no, I think they blended it really nicely, and I think it's all coming together. There's certain elements of that show that I got nice goosebumps.
Oh yeah.
A lot of thrills and suspense. Is Netflix still number 1 before I move on? Streaming wars, I mentioned. There's a lot of competition out there. They're trying to pump up their slate, their original programs. Is Netflix still, you think, number 1?
To me, yes, but I think in the general grand scheme of things, I think Netflix is falling behind. I know that they, had like a massive subscriber loss, which I think they overreacted a little bit too, because they have so many subscribers. Losing 250,000 is like nothing. I think it was a bit of an overreaction. But, the original content coming out on Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, all the other streaming services, Amazon, they're really upping their game. So Netflix kind of can't stay stagnant. They have to keep evolving with the times.
Yeah, you know who wins? Us, the fans. We get all the great stuff. I love that.
Exactly.
Netflix, they do all kinds of varied content, so you're not going to get the same things. Whereas Disney, it's very superhero, very Star Wars, obviously. Those are their big brands. But Netflix, you're going to get all kinds of stuff from horror, as we mentioned, to like comedy, adult animation, all kinds of stuff. All right, let's move on to something, and I don't mean to laugh, but it is kind of funny when we're talking about Morbius. Morbius, the movie. The big news is that they release this once again in cinemas. There was a meme, I don't know if you saw this, Phoebe, but there was memes going around called It's Morbin Time. And Yeah, even Jared Leto got in on it, and he did a Twitter video where he was reading a script for Morbius 2. It's Morbin time. So they put this back in cinemas, hoping to capitalize on all the online, I don't want to call it buzz, but all the chatter, I guess. And it didn't go so well. The movie bombed again. Here are the numbers. It's not 73 million in ticket sales domestically as of right now. Superhero movies, that's not great.
No.
And then when they put it back in cinemas, they couldn't even crack 500,000. It was 280,000 over the weekend, so it didn't go as planned. What do you think? Poor Jared Leto, or let's move on?
No, not poor Jared Leto. I think, like, I don't know if this was an in-joke by Sony by, like, re-releasing it as kind of like a, haha, we get it, you know, you guys didn't really like the movie, or if they misinterpreted that hashtag Morbius sweep, where, like, everyone was talking about how Morbius was the most critically acclaimed movie of all time, the biggest box office. Like, people are like, you know, they're being facetious, they're being sarcastic, and so I don't know if it was like an in-joke or if they actually thought people loved the movie that much. But it's so funny. I think another number that made me laugh was that it averaged $270 per theater upon re-release weekend, which is, I can't even imagine how embarrassing that is.
That's terrible. That's terrible, guys. That's so terrible. There were rumors that there might have been a sequel. I don't know if that's probably after this, probably not going to happen. But I feel like the movie itself is not very good. I think Jared Leto tried. You know, he's an interesting actor. Some people like him, some people don't. I think in the role he was okay. Matt Smith, I thought, was having a great time with his particular role. But yeah, script-wise, and of course those eye-rolling end credit scenes. What the heck? There was stuff in the trailers that didn't even make the movie. I mean, it was a mess. Phoebe.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that they make movies like that nowadays. Like, it just blows my mind.
No, it's, yeah, get with it, guys. All right, Phoebe, thank you so much for helping me break all this down.
Thank you so much for having me.